Yo guys, welcome back to a brand new video and another episode of my F1 2019 career mode here today, and we are back for some more action once again for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. If you guys missed the Chinese Grand Prix yesterday, then go watch the video guys by clicking the link in the top right hand corner of the screen. But today we are here at Baku. You can see on screen we have no chance of rain this weekend and nice sunny dry conditions all the way through. We also have some upgrades onto the car this weekend, and it's going to be one major and one minor, a couple of chassis upgrades on the car this weekend once again to try and improve. And you can see there, one for the tyre wear, one for the weight reduction, and we also have 215 points to hopefully add to that in today's episode. But in terms of the upgrades, those two upgrades are going to mean that we are going to stay in that midfield fight, as you'll see now, and it is going to mean, I was hoping for more progress, really, but having said that, it's not too bad. Haas have brought some big upgrades, but, we're pretty much slap bang in the middle. If we overtake Haas, then we'll be the 5th quickest team, and then, of course, we've got the top 4 teams still quite a way away, so we've got to try and reduce that deficit as much as we can going into the European season. We do have another major upgrade on the way for the next race in Spain, so if we can add to that today, that would be really, really good, and I've got a few upgrades in mind. So you can see on the screen, we took part in practice, and we hit most of the goals. The qualifying performance test, I actually missed out by literally less than a tenth, or even half a tenth, actually. I think it was 0.35, something like that. It was really, really close. Oh, sorry, 0.035. And we didn't quite hit it. We just missed out. We did get maximum points everywhere else, though, which is good. And we carried that momentum into qualifying. The car was relatively decent around here, actually. It felt pretty good. And there was a really small window for the perfect lap. I was really struggling to find that really good, consistent lap all the way around. For example, I'd do 3/4 of the lap good, but there would be a mistake, or I'd have a bit of a scruffy sector. And that was kind of the story of this qualifying session, really, because my first attempt was actually okay, to be fair. It was a good bank lap. No real mistakes, just not my quickest all round. There was a little bit of time missed at most corners kind of thing. And I knew that I could improve all round, really, on a better attempt. But it was still a good first lap, and a nice clean first lap as well. As you can see here, currently 1.2 down on Sebastian Vettel after 2 sectors. We lost 7 tenths in the first, 5 tenths in the second sector, but we do go fastest in the final and bring the gap down to 1.1, and we're actually in the top 8 as it stands. We then move on to my second attempt, because eventually we got pushed down and outside of the top 10, and currently in P16 here, I was actually on a better lap, a tenth up, to maybe almost 2 tenths, but then I tried to push the limits here a bit too much, and the curb bit me, and we hit the wall, and we lost the front wing. But guys, I'm now going to leave you with my best lap of the session, uncommented, because it was actually probably one of the best qualifying laps I've ever done. So guys, enjoy the lap, and I'll be back in a moment.
Seconds left in the session.
And here we go then, running up to the line, and we are going to improve by pretty much 7 tenths of a second with a purple final sector, and we go P9, and actually we managed to stay there after everybody did their final runs, and 1 second off the pace. That is not bad at all, really, and the best we could have done, because ahead of us you've got the top 4 teams, and we were 3 tenths off the nearest car, which was Magnussen. So overall, a decent qualifying. We also out-qualified Danny Kvyat, but good to see both Ferraris in the top 10 and pretty much the 5th quickest team on paper around here, and hopefully we can definitely secure that in the next race in Spain with some upgrades. But overall, a good quality. Leclerc on pole, Verstappen second, and the Alphas, who are the quickest team, only 3rd and 5th, but I'm expecting more from them in the race. But either way, that is over qualifying here, and we're now going to move into the race, guys, for round 4 of the season for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix.
It's been a great qualifying session for you. Are you going to carry that momentum into the race? You left a lot of paint on the walls today. Were you struggling for grip, or did you just misjudge some corners? Great. Well, that's everything.
And a warm welcome to you from Azadlik Square, heart of Baku and home, of course, to the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. With high speeds, tight corners and few runoff zones, many are expecting a safety car here today, so our drivers will have to stay very much on their toes and hopefully away from the barriers. Baku City Circuit then, an unpredictable 3.7 mile track around the streets of the Azerbaijan capital. 20 turns for our drivers to navigate today, including the infamous Turn 8, one of the tightest and most challenging corners of the season. Anthony Davidson, thanks for joining me once again for the Grand Prix. Let's talk about Renault. We have a number of changes to the aerodynamic regulations this year, and the signs haven't looked good for them so far in terms of getting to grips with those changes.
It doesn't look promising for them so far. And if the new regs have hit them as hard as we think, well, I suspect they may need a few late nights at the factory to get back on track.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday puts him on pole, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Hamilton, Vettel, Sergio Perez and Russell, Magnussen, Martinez, Kvyat and Carlos Sainz, Norris, Hülkenberg, Pierre Gasly and Bottas, Albon, Stroll, Daniel Ricciardo and Antonio Giovinazzi, Grosjean and Kimi Raikkonen finishes off the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Right, so here we are on the grid for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, starting from 8th place on the grid due to penalties. So we are on the 4th row alongside Kevin Magnussen, which is good. So hopefully we can have a good start, and the target really is to get ahead of as many cars as possible and then try and keep them behind, really. It's pretty simple. We're really good in the final sector, and sectors 1 and 2 are pretty average, especially sector 1. Sector 1 is quite poor, to be fair. Having said that, it's going to be a tricky race. I think if we could score a point, I'd be happy, because we're not on the favourable strategy. You know, starting on the softs and then going into the hards is not going to be the way to go around here. Historically, I've always started in the mediums here and then gone to the softs, and that's been a much better strategy for me. But today, we're going to have to try and use the softs at the start, try not to overheat them, try and keep the rear tyres under control, which is going to be the big challenge here, and then go to the hard tyres later on. In terms of fuel, we're running 1 extra lap of fuel in the car here today, and yeah, no rain expected, so it's going to be a straightforward race, and the target is simple, just score points. So let's jump into it, let's get racing, and let's see how we get underway here for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Right, here we go. Let's try and get a good start as we build up the revs and get ready for the 5 red lights. Lights out and away we go. We get away really nicely, actually. Down the inside of turn 1. We just avoid contact there with Perez. Magnussen there giving us a bit of a tap into the corner as he tries to go around the outside here at turn 2. But we've got a double overtake off the start here. We're now going to have a drag race with Magnussen. Seems like we are lacking a bit of straight line speed to really pull this off, as we've got the Red Bull of Russell coming back us. But we do go down the inside. We've got a bit of slipstream down the inside of Magnussen. There we go, make it work. And we jump up into the top 6 already, so really good start from us. Nice and clean as well. A little bit of contact here and there, but generally a nice, smooth start. Exactly what we needed. And we're into the top 6, which is really, really good. The question is, can we hang with the big boys here? Because they're so much quicker than us. You saw the R&D tree at the start of the video. We're quite a way off the pace of these guys, but you never know. We could surprise a few people. I'm going to try my absolute best. Hopefully Kvyat can make some moves as well. But mainly we're looking for a double points finish. That would be perfect, because I'm yet to score points in this career mode after Hamilton stole the last point in the Chinese Grand Prix from us right at the death. So I'm determined to correct that and try and score a point here today. But so far so good, as we make our way into the end of sector 2 and into the start of the lap, into the end of the lap, sorry. And yeah, at the minute it's looking pretty good. This corner here I really struggle with. The AI is so much better than me. Magnussen's on the back of me already here, so we are going to have to fight to stay in front. That Williams is very quick on the straight. Let's see how close he gets here. He's at the perfect range. No DRS, but he's at the perfect distance to get a nice turbo. I'm actually pulling away here. Yeah, I'm actually dropping him, so we can actually turn the engine down. So that goes to show how much, or how little wind we're actually running on the car. So there you go. On to lap 2. Let's continue on here. Let's try and see if we can set some pace. Pace is good here. Magnussen and Russell have been battling most of the lap, and we've got a bit of a gap here. We're pushing that 1 second window, so DRS will be enabled now. So it's important to really get that gap if we can. As we've gone to lap 3.
DRS is now enabled and will be available to use when you are within 1 second of the car ahead in the DRS zone.
And look at that, Kvyat is behind us. He's made a double overtake on Russell, and Magnussen has made his way into P7. So that's exactly what we want to see. Kvyat getting stuck in, and currently 6th and 7th for us. That is absolutely fantastic. Kvyat's got some strong pace actually. He's pulling away from Magnussen and Russell, and he's actually catching me up a little bit. So fair play, that's exactly what we want to see. I've just had to turn my engine up a little bit just to make sure Kvyat doesn't get within DRS range, well within slipstream range to overtake me at least, so we can continue doing our own pace. Me and Kvyat are doing this beautifully. He's really using the slipstream to pull away. Magnussen and Russell, I believe, are no longer within Kvyat's DRS range. We've actually pulled away. I'm dragging Kvyat along, and now we're involved in this little scrap here for the tail end of the podium. So this is looking good for us. Both racing points and Leclerc involved. Let's keep it going, because so far this is a perfect race for us. We've really run this well. If Kvyat is quicker than me, I don't mind letting him go, because we're on for strong points and I want to try and cash in and get all the points we can here today. So far it's looking good. I think Leclerc hasn't got his engine turned up. We're well within range here. He's not that quick. We're going to walk past him here. Absolutely walk past him. DRS. There we go. Easy move. And we're
Check your MFD for a new strategy option. Got that confirmed?
personal best as we get the run on Perez here. We're going to look around the outside, but there's no way through just yet. Leclerc trying to go back down the inside, and he does go for it. I'm going to be on the outside. Not much room here, but we will get DRS, as does Leclerc. Kvyat now lurking behind us. This is not ideal for us because we are going to start losing time if we're not careful. I'm going to try and go to the outside. Oh, it's a lock up and a half. We just about avoided. We hit the wall, and actually Leclerc's gone into the wall. My right rear slammed against the wall there. We avoided contact as Leclerc hit the wall, so we're now up to 5th and 6th, but I was holding my breath there for a second. That was so scary. Oof, big oversteer moment there. That's going to put Kvyat right on the back of me. Dare I say, I may not fight him too hard. I'll let him get the perfect slingshot so that he can defend from the Williams, because Magnussen is getting pretty close. Although Kvyat isn't really gaining that much, to be fair, so I should be able to stay in front, possibly. He is gaining now. If he goes to the inside, I won't defend. There he goes. We're going to just hang around the outside and wait. Magnussen looking for a move. He's going to look for the outside. We'll just hold the inside line. There we go, textbook defending. I think he may have brushed the wall. He's looking for the overtake on us. We're going to use Kvyat's slipstream to try and stay in front. There we go, we're pulling ahead. Magnussen on the inside. I've got to leave him some space. And there we go, we stay in front. Let's try and follow Kvyat for a bit, see if he's got any pace to use. Kvyat's pulling away, which is good. It means I can turn the engine up, and we should be able to drop Magnussen out of DRS range. Running full power at the minute through here, getting a bit of a tow. I think I should just about clear Magnussen for the detection zone, and we can just follow Kvyat, which is good for us, and we can also save a bit of fuel, which I need. I'm also debating whether to go into the medium tyres on my next stint.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on mediums.
Yeah, I've selected the mediums, and I'm scheduled to pit lap 9. I might try and stretch that to lap 10, and then I should be safe to go on mediums. I mean, I should be okay on lap 9 anyway, but lap 10 would make it really safe and secure. Okay, cars pit in. We've got a Racing Point and a Red Bull in the pit lane. Verstappen and also Sergio Perez. We're at that perfect range at the minute where Kvyat is just pulling us along. I was doing the work in the first part of the stint, but now the tyres are wearing out, Kvyat's got better pace, so he's pulling me along, which is perfect, and we've got good pace as a team. running as a tandem. It's working well. And we're keeping Russell and Magnussen behind out of DRS range. I've dropped out of DRS range of Kvyat here. I just don't really have the pace at the minute. Also, I'm struggling with my tyres now. I've also had to move the brake bias forward, which is risky, to 60% because I'm locking the rears and I'm struggling under braking to keep the car under control. Kvyat pits. We're going to start for 1 or 2 more laps and go for that medium time, which will make the difference in the final stint as we inherit the race lead.
Daniel is in the pits. Daniel in the pits.
So let's see what pace we can do over 2 laps.
Box. We're coming in this lap.
No, we're doing 1 more, mate. But I've just got to take it easy on the tyres and cruise for a little bit. We're not under threat. Maybe we could get undercut by Magnussen and also Russell, but I think we should be okay. 2.5 seconds gap we had. You can see my current tyre wear, 62 on the right rear. We are going to stay out for 1 more lap. I feel like also we'll definitely avoid the risk and it will clear traffic quite nicely as well by doing an extra lap. So 1 more lap at this pace. Let's do it. Oh, drifting the car through there. The back end just wasn't sticking. I'll put the brake bias back down to 58 because we're going to be on fresh rubber, so we can go back to the usual braking settings. Verstappen will fly past. We'll let him have the right hand side of the track as we're going to box in. Verstappen's struggling to get past me here without slipstream as we now make our way into the pit box. Easy does it. Get it slow down to the 80, and there we go. That's a nice clean entry. We're going to go to the medium tyres, and hopefully that'll make a difference in the final stint.
Release.
2 seconds flat. Here we go. There's a couple of cars making their way by. Some of them on mediums, which are part of traffic. So we're going to rejoin in P11.
We'll be doing 1 more stop today. 1 stop left in our strategy.
I'll make that P12 behind George Russell. So Russell's undercut us. I believe Magnussen's behind us. So we're very last position to 1 car on track, but we do have the benefit of medium tyres now. So we've got to use these. So let's try and get ahead on. Screw straight and let's try and push. Okay, it's kicking off here. Kvyat, Russell, battling with a Toro Rosso and a Renault. I might get a chance to pull off 4 overtakes here, I think. If I time this right. Nice clean exit. Let's turn the engine up. We're going to wait on the fuel until the last minute. There we go. Now we're going to crank it up. Here we go. It's a 4-car train. Let's see what we can do. DRS, we're gaining. Come on. Power. To the inside. Maybe not. I've got to take it easy here. Side by side with Russell. We're going to at least try and get past him. He's on the outside. We're on the inside. I've got to leave him some room. I've got no momentum though, unfortunately, on the exit. So we don't quite make it work. Kvyat side by side with...
Okay, some information on Raikkonen. They're slowing down. It seems like there's some kind of problem with their car.
That's not a worry for us because he's in the Mercedes, of course. I'm going to try and get a switch back on Russell here. Oh, that's beautiful. That's exactly what I wanted. Long way round at the chicane. Russell, though, still holds on. Damn it, man. That Red Bull just has so much grip. And now Magnussen's right behind us. This hasn't gone according to plan so far. And I think Kvyat has damage because the Renault in front is pulling away, and that's a bad sign. I think Kvyat might have damage. That's not good because as a team, we might be missing out points by seeing this. This time we're not messing about. Engine turned up really early. We're going to give it everything this time. I need to make this triple overtake. Nice and close for the chicane. Let's see if we can close up on these guys a bit. Russell seems to have his engine turned up as he's looking for a move. We need the 3 of them to spread out. Here we go. This is my chance. We're gaining. Full power. We're going to go to the inside. Russell comes across, but we're going to go for it. On the brakes nice and late. Contact between myself and Kvyat. He hits my right front. Oh, sorry, Ricardo. Ricardo's going to go back down the inside here. Got to leave some room. Almost getting squeezed into the wall. We don't have DRS either, which is annoying. It's going to be a drag race between myself and Danny Rick. Seems like none of us have DRS because he's matching my straight line speed. We're going to go to the outside. Long way round. Got to leave some space. Inside for the next corner. Late on the brakes. Come on. There we go. We've got the grip. Make that move. Back up to P7. Let's chase after Stroll, who's pulled away a little bit in the Renault. Let's try and drop these guys out of DRS range. Okay, Stroll pits. I think he's the only guy on medium. Is that there's someone else? It's a Haas. So there we go. We are going to inherit P5, I believe. There we go. Back up to P5 in this race. Clean air to the finish on mediums. We've got a nice gap to Russell behind us. So looking good here on the mediums. We're on the better tyre, so we can just cruise. Now, can I challenge for a top 4? Probably not. I think they're a bit too far up the road. I think they've pulled away a bit too much in the pit stop phase. But you know what? We'll just run out of pace, and if we are catching them, then that's good news for us. But right now the battle's behind, so let's use that to pull away and secure this position. Pace is good, but Russell is matching me, and there's also an Aarava Romeo making its way back through the field.
A new strategy is available on the MFD.
We set a personal best. Let's see what the strategy is.
Confirmed.
Yep, there we go. Go to the end of the race, which is logical. But yeah, overall pace is good, as we set a personal best, and P5 is looking okay at the minute. My concern is long term when the tyres start to go off a little bit, but for now we're in the money. Oh, Verstappen's out. Oh my god, the race leader's out of the race. Verstappen retires from the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, so we're now technically in the net P4 in this race. That is massive, absolutely massive. We're keeping a gap at the minute to the cars behind, but they are slowly chipping away and gaining on us. There is Max's car.
Someone's come off ahead of you. There's a yellow flag ahead.
I'm saving fuel in the RS because we are going to get caught, so I'm saving it for the inevitable
Green flag.
defensive driving we're going to have to do at some point in the closing stages of the Grand Prix. Okay, Russell has DRS on us. Not close enough just yet, but he is within range and has his DRS open. Also, the Aarava Romeo behind him, I'm guessing of Pierre Gasly, I think. Yep, Pierre Gasly. He's lurking in the distance. So this isn't over yet. It's going to be a long 7 laps to go. I say long. Russell's on me already. We're going to defend the outside. A bit of a lock up there, but we just about hang it on the inside and we keep Russell behind. Good defensive driving on the limit there. Hopefully, Gasly can cause Russell some trouble and that will allow me to pull away again. That's what I need. At the minute, Gasly's being very pacific and safe. Russell has his engine turned up this lap. He's much closer than before. But still, I don't think he's close enough. We're doing a good job. We're getting good exits. Nice, clean exits, which is what we need. We can keep him behind. The problem is here, turn 1 and turn 2. I'm not as good as the AI on traction or late braking, especially turn 2. This is where I have trouble. So even if I get a perfect exit, which I have done for the last couple of laps, Russell's close enough to have a look. I think this lap though we should be okay. Yes, we are. Russell's really close this time round. I've not turned my engine up because I want him to pull alongside nice and early, and then I can just turn my engine up to respond, and that will give me the benefit. You can see here we're pulling away. Meanwhile, Gasly's gaining. We're going to cover the inside. Let's see if Gasly can make a move, possibly Russell to the outside.
5 laps of fuel remaining.
We're going to hold the inside line beautifully at turn 1. Looking for a lock up, but we keep it under control. Through turn 2, tap the apex on the throttle. And there we go, job done. We keep them behind for another lap. No worries there whatsoever. Trying to save a bit of fuel in the RS for when it really matters at the end. Same again with Gasly here. He's got his engine turned up. We're going to let him just take the right hand side of the track and let it be a good old fashioned slipstream battle. Here comes Russell. He's gaining now. We're going to turn our engine up. We're going to wait a little bit. Now we're giving it full power. Gasly on the outside, as is Russell. They're both letting me on the brakes though, to be fair, and we have to yield. We'll hang in there because they're both going to be side by side, so they'll both lose time through turn 2. DRS, there we go. Russell's got DRS, Gasly.
Laps of fuel remaining.
Gasly does not. We're going to try and make the move. Not really close enough, unfortunately. Gasly a bit sloppy through there, but we can't quite capitalise and we dropped 2 positions. Not much I could have done really. We've defended for so many laps, but I just couldn't do it any longer. Unfortunately, I just don't have the pace to keep up anymore. My tyres are starting to go. So if we can hold P6, I'll still be very happy, as it is my first points of the season. Here we go then, through the final part of the lap now, and it's been a good race here today. Best race of the season so far, without a doubt. Much better pace, the car's working well, strategy on point, and everything came together beautifully. And Fiat has managed to hold on, I believe, to a couple of points, so that's good news for us as well. But we're going to get a fantastic 6th place, and finally, after 4 races, we're going to score our first points of the season for Ferrari, and that deserves a bit of a mini celebration, but a good race, but the work is nowhere near done as we cross the line for 6th place in the Azerbaijan Grand Prix.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
So Alfa Romeo have won it, and what a great race it was. What do you think it was, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition today?
Well, they certainly stood out as a driver with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
So here they come now, out onto the podium. It's thrilling to see this team go toe-to-toe with the best teams in the sport and come out on top. What a superb victory from the Alfa Romeo team.
Right, so looking at the final race results here today, it's a good old-fashioned 1-2 for Sebastian Vettel and Lewis Hamilton, with Sebastian taking the win for Alfa Romeo ahead of Lewis in the Racing Point, Perez in 3rd, and that is your podium here today. Then we've got Gasly missing out in 4th place ahead of George Russell, and then we come home in P6, our first points of the season ahead of Kevin Magnussen, Danny Kvyat 8th place, so a double points finish for us here today, and a really positive result, and I'm really happy that the car's improving and we're getting stronger and stronger. Charles Leclerc P9 after hitting the wall earlier on, and Carlos Sainz running at the points and scoring the final one here today. Albon missing out on the points along with Stroll, Norris, Ricciardo, Raikkonen, Grosjean, Bottas, Hulkenberg, Giovinazzi, and Max Verstappen, who was leading the race, is the only retirement of the Grand Prix here today in the Red Bull. In terms of the standings, Pierre Gasly takes the lead by 1 point over Max Verstappen, who retired here today, so that brings things really close together. Sergio Perez only 5 points behind, Hamilton only 8 points behind, so it's really close at the top, up the sharp end, and the top 6 covered by 15 points. It's really competitive. Kvyat up at the P9, which is good, so he's well into the top 10, and we jump all the way up to 11th place with our first points of the season, and we're right in the money there, which is good to see. In terms of the constructors, we're up to 5th place, overtaking McLaren by 1 point, and Alfa Romeo leads Racing Point by 1 point, with Red Bull a further 3 behind, so really close and competitive, and Williams kind of bridging that gap between the top 3 and us at the minute. But yeah guys, that's it for the race here today at Azerbaijan. We're going to put some more upgrades on the car moving into the European season, so let's do that, and hopefully we can try and improve even more.
You're surpassing all expectations. Can anything or anyone stop you? Do you think you were lucky not to end your race with that crash? Well, thanks anyway.
Right, so here we are then on the laptop, and we first of all agreed a new contract, an improved contract, to first driver promotion and getting all of our contract perks onto level 3 bonus. We also hit the team goal, which means we have 1,700 points to spend. So straight away, we do have this major chassis upgrade underway for the next race in Spain. We're going to add to that here today. And the first things first, we're going to do an engine upgrade for some engine power, which is a very cheap one, 242 points. We'll get that on straight away. We're going to add to that a chassis upgrade, which is worth 300 points for weight redistribution for the next race. And then more of a long-term upgrade is going to be over on the engine side of things. If we browse over to this top left upgrade for the energy recovery system, it's going to be an ultimate upgrade worth 1,000 points, and that's going to arrive in 2 weeks, which means it'll be for the Monaco Grand Prix. So we're going to throw that on as well and get that on the car. I know, engine upgrade in Monaco doesn't make sense, but it's not really engine power, it's more ERS performance, and also these are the cheaper upgrades, so we can get through these a lot quicker and get performance in the car a lot quicker, and then we'll eventually work on other things like durability and aerodynamics. But yeah, overall, you can see on the right hand side of the screen, there's going to be a massive improvement in the next 2 races, and we're going to really bridge that gap from midfield to top of the charts, really, to the top teams. But yeah guys, that's going to be it for this episode of Career Mode here today. If you guys enjoyed it, drop a like on the video, and also get subscribed if you are new for daily Formula 1 content, and also turn on notifications to not miss any videos from me. And also finally guys, check out these 2 videos on your screen if you have missed them. But other than that guys, thank you for watching. I wish you all a Merry Christmas, and I'll see you on my next one very soon. But until then, it's goodbye from me.